Now, I was going to make a video about rappers going overseas and getting locked up when I saw that Chris Brown had just did the same thing in the UK. He went to England while he had a warrant, just sitting at a 5-star hotel in Manchester, chilling. But I guess he could have forgot the incident happened 2 years ago, but I remembered that as an adult, Chris Brown just seemingly started claiming Fruitown Piru. He just became a blood as an adult. Now, first off, Fruitown Piru is not just in LA, alright? The set is also in Virginia, where Chris Brown is from, but he's from a town of like 3,000 people. There's neighborhoods in LA with 5 times as many people as that, but it doesn't mean that he ain't from the hood or anything, because a lot of small towns are messed up. It just got me thinking.
That's a fact. Hey, them small towns, they be crazy, bro. Like, I'm from Cleveland, so like it ain't really small, but it ain't like a big city like Columbus. But I ain't gonna lie, to small cities, from what I heard, they be active though. Okay.
Wack 100, although not the most reliable storyteller, said there's a guy named Waxstar. I think he's a blood out of Compton, and his story about Waxstar lines up with the story of Big Homie CC, a former high-level bodyguard. Now, Big Homie says that one night while he was working security for Iman Shumpert when he was still in the NBA, he kind of shoved Kyrie Irving out of his way, and Kyrie took this very personal, and every time Kyrie saw him after this, he started gang banging, like banging blood on him every time he saw him.
So I put my arm out and I pushed him and dude out the way. He got pissed off about it. He throwing up gang signs at me and everything. Kyrie is a blood.
And Wax says this guy Waxstar is responsible for bringing people like Soulja Boy, Chris Brown, and Kyrie around the set. But not only was Kyrie born in Australia, he grew up in West Orange, New Jersey, a wealthy suburb. He attended Montclair Kimberly Academy, a private school. Soulja Boy was born in Chicago and grew up in Mississippi. Now, I know there's a lot of gangs in Mississippi, but everybody I met from Mississippi was either a GD or a vice lord. But Soulja Boy don't even know where he's from. He's claimed Atlanta and Compton at the same time, but when he blew up, he was living in Batesville, Mississippi. Now, I don't blame this guy, Waxstar from California. If these celebrities want to play gang member and give him free clout, go ahead. He's probably genuinely made a bag just off being associated with these guys, but what is this? And why do rappers and celebrities, when they want to become adult gang members, why do they always just choose a California gang? Is it because Cali is the extortion capital? Possibly. Also, you're more likely to just get robbed somewhere like Chicago or New York doing this. Shotty and them made over $1 million from 6ix9ine playing gang member, and they still tied him up and threw him in the truck. California guys seem to have a bit more oversight when it comes to extorting, but 6ix9ine was honestly like the blueprint on why adults shouldn't jump into gangs, among many others. And like I said plenty of times in older videos, people join gangs as kids, and not only kids, but kids in dangerous neighborhoods, where being a part of something like that is just part of everyday life.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you join in a gang and you over a certain age, it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you feel me? Like, that's usually with young people, like, you young or like, you feel me? Like, my age, if you jumping in my age, it's like, bro, what you doing? Like, you feel me? But at the same time, you can. People do that, but it ain't common. Like, you feel me? It's like, you know, why would you even want to do that? Like, I would never even want to do that shit. Like, the streets is a trap. I ain't gonna lie.
I know what it's like to grow up in the area where the kids gang banging, and when you go to their house, their parents gang banging too. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings with this next statement, but Tupac was no different. His mom was an educated Black Panther, not a blood. The man was a poet that spoke against injustice in the United States one day and a blood from LA the next. You can't be Martin Luther King and a gang member at the same time. If he was gonna start gang banging as a kid, like most people, it would have been while he still lived in Baltimore. Crazy how the poster boy for the West Coast didn't even move out there until he was 17. No matter what reason you think he really died, he had no business putting his hands on the Southside Compton Crip in Las Vegas. And that's what's so disappointing about a lot of rappers. You can't trust anything they say. How you gonna be a revolutionary, but you fighting in a hotel lobby? This man was an educated ballet dancer, not throwing shade at him about that, but the point is, Tupac was a fictional character, and Destroy Lonely was homeschooled. Who put you on, bro? You were homeschooled before high school. How? And he went to high school in Stockbridge, Georgia, and I'm not saying Stockbridge ain't grimy, but bro, The murder rate is less than 1 per every 1,000 residents. And Chicago might have messed up the way I think about things, but I've always stood by the fact that if nobody is dying where you live, why are you gangbanging? These new cliques I created when a group of kids want to get revenge for one of their friends being killed. It's not a game. I know every city is different, but we talking about gangs. This not a Discord group. It's not a recreational basketball team. If you or nobody you know never got chased down or shot at, you probably didn't need to be in a gang. That's sound logic, right? Am I tripping? If everybody around you survived to adulthood, you didn't need to be a gang member, you should just go to college. It's way less of a sausage fest too. And when claiming these gangs that have their biggest membership in Los Angeles, you have to remember that the LA guys probably don't even respect you anyway. Or the guys anywhere in California. What did Brick Baby say about Quando Rondo? They both rolling 60s, but since Quando is from Savannah, Brick Baby said, you not from LA rolling 60s, so you not from the hood. Basically, this means that if you go out of town and start gangbanging and don't have a home set like Quando does in Georgia, you just a goofy. Kyrie, you hanging with Bloods and you a suburbanite. You pretty much Lil Mabu. Soulja Boy, honestly, Soulja Boy been pretending to be a gang member for so many years that we might as well just give him an honorary certificate, right? Congratulations, you graduated from False Flag and University. I hereby present this award to DeAndre Cortez Way. Justin Bieber still get more respect in the hood than you though. And there are several other rappers that fell off that I could get into, but we'd be here all day. And I promise I'm not trying to pick on Drake, but he just always comes up. Now, I haven't necessarily seen him claim to be a part of any gangs in Toronto or in the US, but being from Forest Hill, his association with gang members is kind of strange to me. Like, who introduced you to these various people, Drake? How do you know Fifth? I covered him briefly in my Toronto video, but this guy got executed in a way that just does not happen if you're not in the streets. They caught him in the hallway, 2 shooters popped out, air straight through the glass, one of them wiped the door off and kept blowing, and top 5, why is Drake paying lawyer fees for somebody that was on a murder charge? It's not his homie, this guy's almost 20 years younger than Drake. Anyway, when I first left Chicago and went away to college to a small town where no shootings or murders happen at all, the dumbest thing I ever heard was some kid in town say he wanted to go to the hood and feel what it was like to be in a shootout. And I was like, bro, you know people don't always survive shootouts, right? You know that's not a goal for people living in the city, right? And I feel like that's how a lot of these rappers think. Not all of them, of course. A lot of them are just pretending 100%. And the kid I mentioned, sadly, I went to college in an open carry state, so he likely has his own firearm now legally, but he definitely won't see any action in his hometown, and I doubt he'd ever actually travel somewhere where he'd have to use it, because it's easy to just say something stupid like that when you've never seen it up close. Having to constantly look over your shoulder is not cool. There are 16-year-olds walking around major cities that don't even gangbang, but just due to the neighborhoods they live in, they know what it's like to always be at risk. I remember walking through alleys in Chicago with my hood on because it was cold, and people popping out from behind garbage cans saying, hey bro, you gotta take your hood off, we into it, I didn't know who you was. Some people just don't even know what that's like. And to see somebody selling out world tours or signing multi-million-dollar contracts throw up a gang sign, you start to see why celebrities get their houses broken into in LA. It's hard to feel bad for some of these guys. Chris Brown, bro, I know you put your hands on everybody, men and women, but just stop. If you need to hang around some strangers to feel accepted, I feel sorry for you, but go hang with dudes at the country club in Bel Air or something. This kid who was born a millionaire kept it more real than most of these rappers when he stopped rapping and pretending to have ops so he could focus on college. Why is someone like Justin Bieber more good in the hood than Soulja Boy? It's not because he's white, it's because he's not pretending or trying to fit in. Never forget, Justin walked through the alley and linked up with like a MS-13 gang member and bought some, by himself. No security, my boy was in the hood.
Hey, I got Justin Bieber here at the Swami though. Right here in my hood, homie. MS gang.
Selena Gomez might have been there too, but y'all rich people trying to look tough is the exact reason Big U got rich. Just stop it, man. If you got a pool in your backyard, you can't be a gang member. Can we just agree on that?
Speaking facts as usual, man. Hey, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gone.